And so literally as soon as they start pulling us up to go up on stage, they're like, hey, you guys are opening up for J. Cole. Boom, boom, boom. So we start walking on stage, and I'm like, yo, no way, bro. My name is Lalo. I go by Alias. I am an artist, producer, engineer from Redwood City, California. I was 14 years old when I started making music. I actually started writing when I was like 11, and I wrote for a little bit, but I realized I wasn't too good, so I would always just kind of write in my notebook to myself. But then when I was 14, I started making beats on, just free online software. And then I ended up showing beats to one of my friends at school, and she happened to be a member at the Boys and Girls Club. And she was like, oh, you should come by, we have a music studio here. And once I started going, long story short, I fell in love with the people there. I fell in love with the environment. When I realized that they had a studio that was just kind of open for use, I started going every day and never looked back since. I knew that I always wanted to like rap and like sing and do stuff like that, but I felt like I never really had a place to do it. I think what keeps me going is, one, my family, for sure, because they've always believed in me from the gate. I know that coming from a background like I come from, it's not really a common career path. So I think having the support of my parents has been first and foremost the most important thing to me. But also like my peers, the people that I grew up making music around. I think my greatest accomplishment with music has been really stepping out of my comfort zone and moving to LA. I've been in Redwood City my whole life. And I always just felt like, man, like there has to be something more. Like I can't just stay here and hope that something's gonna happen. And not just Redwood City, but like the Bay Area in general. Like I can't just stay here and hope that something's gonna happen. I can't just keep putting out music and just praying that it's gonna get somewhere. I need to start connecting with people that can really like help me push the music, but also like are willing to build. And so I think having that here and then taking what I learned here and taking it with me to LA, I think that's probably been my greatest accomplishment. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I think I took the right step forward by making that move. Well, besides making music, I really I like board games. So I like anytime that like I can get together with friends or like family and we can like play board games and chill, like maybe have a beer, even if it's not with a beer, you know what I'm saying? Like just hanging out. I really like hanging out with friends. I don't like going out as much as I used to, so I'm like now I find myself like more inclined to stay home and have like a 2K tournament or like a FIFA tournament, or sit around and play Monopoly and like make food and just chill, kick it. When I was like 16 or 17, I had the chance to go to a youth conference to the Boys and Girls Club, and it was dope because every year they have that conference and they have celebrities doing like panels, performances, workshops, a whole bunch of cool opportunities for kids to like learn about business, learn about entertainment, and all sorts of like life skills. Me and my group of friends that I was making music with at the Boys and Girls Club at that time, we got the opportunity to go out there not just for the conference and like to participate in everything about the conference, but we also got a chance to perform like the opening day of the conference. And so we were told from the gate like, yo, you guys are gonna open up for an artist. And so they never told us who we were gonna open up for. We even showed up and like went straight to rehearsals because the next day was when we were gonna perform. And still nothing. We were there, we were at rehearsals. Nobody told us who we were opening up for. We were trying to figure it out so hard. We were like, yo, like who's popping right now? Like who are we gonna open up for? Do they have anybody who's like up and coming or already established that we're gonna open up for? So we didn't know if it was somebody who was like brand new, somebody who's already been in the game for a minute. We were just kind of like kept in the dark about it. And then we're getting ready to go up on stage. We're backstage. We're like already warmed up. We're prepped. We're pumped. We're hyping each other up to get on stage. And so literally as soon as they start pulling us up to go up on stage, they're like, hey, you guys are opening up for J. Cole. Boom, boom, boom. So we start walking on stage and I'm like, yo, no way, bro. And this was when he had just like started coming up, when he had came out with when he was featured on Miguel's song, All I Want Is You. And me, I was like a huge fan, bro, and I was like, yo, fuck, like that's not even fair, bro. Like we're all on stage, we're like looking at each other, we're like sweating already before we even start performing. and it was tight, bro. Like we performed, like we ended up getting off stage and like kind of like not running through the crowd, but like we were like walking through the crowd, still singing, still like rapping and shit, and it was cool because there was over 3,000 people there, and so it after that performance, everybody treated us like we were like a big deal. Like they thought we were like the next big thing. And, you know, as soon as we got off stage, J. Cole comes on and he starts, you know, that's when he had just gone with the who that, bitch, I got that flame. And so that was tight. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to meet him. But it was still dope to know that we shared the stage, you know, at some point. And that's probably one of like my favorite stories. I have a couple of short-term goals for this year. I want to put out a couple more songs before the end of the year. Going into next year, I'd like to put out a project. I'd like to put out a couple more singles, and I'd like to either engineer, produce, or both 3 projects for other artists next year. I definitely want to put out more video work as well. Put out more visuals. That's a short-term goal between now and the end of the year, and then going into next year. And long-term goal, I'd say my long-term goal, the main one is just to get established. You know, within the next few years, get established, whether it's with the artistry, production, or engineering, is to be established out in LA. Make sure you follow me on all my socials. Zero Alias Music on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, SoundCloud. I got a lot of stuff coming. I have 2 joint collaboration projects that I'm working on with Monique Martinez and James the Spitta. So look out for those. Those are coming out before the year ends. And it's just a lot more work coming on the engineering tip, on the artist tip, and on the production tip. So tune in. Big shout out to Posted Broadcast. Thank you for having me. Thank you for taking the time to, you know, bring me out and have this interview. Shout out to Templo for letting me use this space. This place will always be my home, and I'm glad that I can always come out here and work.